G'day, my name's Kyle Grace and I'm seeking balance, truth, connection and soul. And I'm working on single purpose, single organization and single spirit to uplift life through the human experience for one and all across time. This is going to be a little bit of a strange one for you. If you're not into statistics, you should probably try a different video because this is going to be statistically heavy. But I do find this really interesting, and the purpose of this is to get you thinking a little bit about life and what's most important to us together with life. So here is a document which you will find in my professional profile, and I'm literally just going to run through some statistics and I guess pose some questions to you about what you think is most important together with us, with life. As I'm recording this at the end of 2024, I'm 38 years old. My professional career started in my mid-20s, so it's been about 14 years that I've worked professionally, with my primary income taking up about 26,000 hours of my life. That's working on analysis and conveying messages across different levels. In addition to that full-time professional work, I've worked about 30,000 hours in supporting work. So that's various supporting incomes, the hospitality, the production, also working with community, and a lot of projects or initiatives for one and all things, I guess. Stuff like this is in that supporting initiatives. Not directly getting paid for it, but still working on something, trying to uplift life. Most of my experience is in education, research, and consulting for enterprises, really big organizations. You can see there big numbers or small numbers. I don't know, it just depends on what you feel about zeros. The primary focus of my career has been enterprise resource planning for governance particularly, and infrastructure. So a lot of that stuff that you don't necessarily see, but I guess kind of helps administer large organizations. And analysis is what I focused on, trying to understand the problem and trying to, I guess, integrate or understand different areas of businesses or organization in general. This slide is some sort of baseline statistics from the time that, I finished high school, and just starts to, look at how many hours existed in my life since then and how many hours there were of full-time work. I don't know if any of that means anything to you. You can see here a little life investment table. Overall, I've invested nearly 30 years of full-time work in, us all, I guess. That's taking into account study, volunteering, investments, my main income and my supporting income. You can see the breakdown of numbers there. I feel like I've worked hard. Here's a breakdown of professional organizations. Spent a lot of time on professional projects. You can see there right at the top, just always chipping away at different initiatives. University of Melbourne, spent a lot of time there, and you can see the breakdown of different organizations and how long I've spent working with different spaces in different times. Most of my time has been in education and research and consulting. Also some other industries there, and most significantly with enterprise. Also a lot of work with individuals and some experience with large organizations. I guess where I struggle is sort of medium or small organizations, and it's been a really interesting kind of, component of my life as, I've sought to kind of support on a more, authentic one-on-one level, but really struggled because most of my experience and thinking has been on this kind of enterprise level. So bringing things to ground for individuals or smaller businesses is something that I do struggle with. Lot of contracts, time there. These are different kinds of job roles. See, most of the time I've been a business analyst. I mean, a lot of that stuff is not so interesting. You can see here's the breakdown of initiatives. That's where the 122 initiatives come from. 28 at the University of Melbourne, 22 at Gatens Lawyers, and 18 at Fed Uni. So yeah, worked on a lot of different kinds of projects. Always been a project resource. Here's end user impact sizes, and you can see a lot of my professional independent projects I count as impacting everyone in the world. So that's where those big numbers come from. I try and impact everybody in the world 2 times over. So I don't know how much you can read into those numbers, but you can see it's based on similar kind of calculations when you think of the end users of different systems that I've worked on. So how many business users there are, and then how many other users are affected by the system that we're implementing. And so that's where this 27.5 million users comes from, because through all the initiatives, they were impacting multiple people who were sort of touching or impacted by the efficiencies or the dashboards or the way that a system functions with our lives. This is how much the projects cost. So you can see a lot of investment at the University of Melbourne. We might compare that $28.5 million of project investments to impact 27.5 million people. So essentially per impacted user, Melbourne Uni is spending about $1 per impacted person. That's one way of looking at data. There's a lot more that we could talk about there. This is how much time I've spent in various initiatives. Unified Ascent is the single purpose, single organization, and single spirit that I'm talking about, this uplifting life through the human experience for one and all across time. There's a lot of work that I've invested into this, and if you hang around this professional profile, you get to see more of some of these ideas unfolding about how I think that more connects than divides, and we're better together. And many other principles like that. You can see here a lot of my work is on enterprise resource planning. So that's how we all integrate our core systems together. It's the connection of all the different parts that people do, and thinking about what's shared, what's the same, what's common in everything that we do together. Also a lot of work on workflow, although these numbers are a little deceptive because a lot of this ERP stuff is actually workflow management as well. So you probably shuffle those sort of primary systems around, but generally, when I'm looking at problems from a technology perspective, I'm thinking about how it connects with all of our other systems and how we flow the work to the people who can service that work the easiest. And most of my career is with analysis. A little bit of teaching, a little bit of operations, but really my expertise is in analysis. What's the problem? And how can we solve it? A lot of governance stuff, a lot of infrastructure stuff. So again, the infrastructure stuff is usually the stuff that people don't see. It's stuff that sits underneath roads or behind system interfaces, data flowing between systems, integrations, that kind of stuff. Servers, yeah. Governance is how we manage the systems. Yeah, and then we sort of jump into some supporting statistics Spent a lot of time with cricket and a lot of time with functions at Melbourne. You can see the breakdown there. Anyway, I guess I show these statistics to wonder, how much time do you spend on different parts of your life? So there you have it, some statistics about my life. I'm interested in if any of that engages with you. Essentially, what I'm considering with those statistics is, overall, how much time do we have in our life? And then when we're investing that time, what's most important about that time that we're investing? Is it how much that time costs, like the budget of the time? Is it how many people we're impacting? Perhaps it's how much we're impacting them. I didn't really cover that in these statistics, but I'm wondering, overall, what do you think is most important together with life?